Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. We begin with a well-respected Italian family called the Recchis. They're rich, powerful, and deeply rooted in tradition. Their business is textiles, and they've built an empire over the years. At the head of the family is the elderly grandfather, who's preparing to hand over the reins of the company to the next generation. The family lives in a grand villa in Milan, where everything from the furniture to the food is elegant and refined. At the center of the story is Emma, a quiet and graceful woman originally from Russia. She's married to Tancredi, one of the sons, and has spent years becoming the perfect Italian wife and mother. But as the film begins, we sense that something inside her is starting to change. The story kicks off with a big family dinner held in honor of the grandfather's birthday. The whole family is there, children, in-laws, and close friends. During the dinner, the grandfather announces that he's ready to pass down the family business. But instead of giving it all to his son, he surprises everyone by splitting it between his son Tancredi and his grandson Edoardo. This decision signals a shift in the family's future, and it puts a lot of pressure on Edoardo, who's young and still trying to find his place in the world. Emma watches all of this unfold quietly. Her role as host is flawless, but you can tell she's watching from the outside rather than really being part of it. After the dinner, we get to know Edoardo a bit more. He's passionate and idealistic, and he's not exactly excited about stepping into the business world. One of his closest friends is a talented chef named Antonio. They share a dream of opening a restaurant together, something simple and personal, not tied to money or status. When Emma meets Antonio, there's a quiet spark between them. It's not loud or dramatic, but it's there. Something about Antonio's calm, grounded energy draws her in. Unlike her structured life, Antonio represents something warm, creative, and alive. Their connection grows slowly, through small glances and quiet conversations. As the days pass, Emma starts to feel more distant from her family life. Her children are growing up and starting to make their own choices. Her daughter, in particular, begins to explore her own identity, which opens Emma's eyes to how much she's sacrificed to fit into her role. She begins to notice how little space there is for her own desires and personality. The elegant meals, the social events, the polished conversations, it all starts to feel like a performance. Even her marriage feels like something she's simply maintaining, rather than living in. These realizations come quietly, but they build over time, and they make her more curious about the life she could have had. Emma's connection with Antonio deepens when she visits the countryside, far away from Milan's structure and expectations. There, surrounded by nature and simple pleasures, she begins to feel free. The tension she's been carrying starts to fade, and for the first time in years, she allows herself to feel joy without guilt. Antonio treats her like a person, not just a wife or a mother. Their bond grows through shared meals, unspoken understanding, and long walks under the sun. These moments feel small on the surface, but for Emma, they mark a turning point. She begins to imagine a life beyond the walls of her family home. Back in Milan, things are shifting too. With Edoardo now partially in charge of the business, there's tension between old values and new ideas. Some family members want to modernize, while others want to hold on to tradition. Emma watches all of this unfold but feels more and more disconnected from it. Her husband Tancredi is focused on business, and the emotional distance between them keeps growing. The family is still functioning on the surface, with dinners, meetings, and formalities, but there's a quiet sense that the foundation is cracking. Emma, caught in the middle, starts to question what loyalty and duty really mean when they come at the cost of your own happiness. With each passing day, Emma becomes more certain that she wants something different for herself. She's no longer satisfied with simply being the perfect wife or playing her role within the family machine. Her experiences with Antonio, along with changes in her children's lives, push her to rethink everything she's been taught to accept. She starts taking small steps to reclaim her sense of identity. Whether it's through the clothes she wears, the places she visits, or the choices she makes, Emma is becoming someone new. There's a quiet courage in her actions, even if they go unnoticed by those around her. The film shows this transformation with subtlety, through glances, gestures, and silences rather than big speeches. One of the central themes of the film is the conflict between tradition and personal freedom. The Recchi family represents old-world values, wealth, order, and reputation. But underneath that surface lies a deep emotional cost. Emma's journey is about breaking free from that system, not in a loud or rebellious way, but in a deeply personal one. The film doesn't judge any of the characters harshly, instead, it lets us sit with their decisions and the quiet consequences that follow. Through Emma's eyes, we see what happens when someone begins to question the rules they've always followed. And even though the setting is specific to Milan's upper class, the emotional journey is something many can relate to.